to another episode here of Dirt Diamond Sports Talk. As always, I'm Ryan with my man Wally. Oh, well, we're not live on Twitter tonight. We're live on YouTube, though. I don't know what happened there. Deadgum. Oh, well. Run on over to YouTube, guys. Post a link to it, I guess, on the Twitter real quick so that you guys can catch it.
You doing it
Tonight, we're
now?
going to catch up. Yeah, I'll do it in a second. Yep. We're going to catch up on a full week of Astros baseball, a frustrating Twins series, a statement series against the first place Rays. Peter Lambert turning into one of the most important arms on the roster. Of course, Yordan Alvarez continuing to make MVP and Triple Crown case. A little bit of Paredes and Walker continuing to produce in big spots. And maybe a little chatter already out there. The front office starting to show signs that this team may actually be treating itself like a deadline buyer. Not sure if I buy it or not. But, Wally, I think one of the things that came out of both the Twins and the Rays series is the importance that it still seems just a little bit unstable, this starting rotation that the Astros are dealing with, is being saved by big Yordan bombs and a freaking awesome bullpen. And the consistency from the starting pitching, be it Lambert, be it Imai, be it a somewhat struggling, not going deep into a game, Hunter Brown, this pitching rotation is still probably the question mark, if there is one, on this team right now.
Well, the pitching, the pitching, as far as the starting pitching, is very up and down. Unfortunately, what's become very consistent is the hitting not really getting high OPS. You've got a huge reliance on Yordan Alvarez, and that's not healthy. In the Twin series, he had a 1434 OPS. You had Smith had a 1250. No one else had an OPS over 667. In the Rays series, you had Yordan with Yordan and Altuve, Paredes, all had OPSs over 1,000. You had Diaz at 714. You had Walker at 773. No one else had an OPS over 472. What you're seeing with the lineup is that it's just so top loaded. You get games out of guys like Cam. You'll get games out of guys like Diaz. You'll get the big hit out of, like you had DeCenzo the other night. But what's happening now is they're just not scoring runs. They're not hitting. And the pitching is putting a lot of pressure on the pitching. When you look at the Twin series, the starter ERA, the team ERA was 5.67. They lost 2 out of 3. At the Rays series, it was 3.33. They won 2 out of 3. Why? Because the hitting was what it was. Now, when you look at both of those games, the one game they won against the Twins, give Burrows a lot of credit. He had a really rough first inning. Then he lined it out. He gave up one more in the 5th, but he gave the team a chance to win. You look at the game against the second game against the Rays. Thank God we've got Yordan Alvarez, because if not him, we could lose all 3 of them.
Yeah, I think that despite some of these questionable things that we see in the offense, I feel like where I've seen a lot of improvement is there's more productive at-bats. We've already talked about these late inning at-bats and how these guys are really starting to pull together, late game antics, which isn't super confidence inducing, I guess, because you really want to see them start to win innings as opposed to go through 6 or 7 or 8 innings and then have to win it on a Jordan long ball. That's baseball, though. I get some of that. Um, they're putting more pressure on defenses, taking a little bit of hit and run opportunities. There's some stolen bases in there. I think Joe has gotten really good at using the bench lately. And he's
Yeah.
made some really good moves and calling in some of these guys in situational hitting opportunities that have really played into the benefit of this team. Walker and Paredes today, solo shots. Paredes. I can't say enough about the guy. He's not having just a fireworks type of season, but it seems as though there's so many games where you go and you look at a box score or you look at a wrap and you see Paredes sac fly, Paredes RBI, Paredes ground ball, double. There's a lot of Paredes in there that I think all of the praise for Jordan is kind of taken away from some of the Paredes and the Walker talk. I mean, Christian Walker has got his fifth consecutive season of at least 20 home runs, quietly under the radar. I think that we've talked about Walker having a streaky season, and there's something to that. But when you got a guy who, here we are, the first week of July, and he's at 20 home runs, that's not bad baseball, man.
Where Walker's going to end up probably is where he always ends up. Somewhere 240, 250. He's going to hit 25, 28 home runs, 20, 30 home runs, maybe somewhere in there. He's going to hit 80, 90 at bats. He strikes out a fair amount. He does get hitting some double plays, and he can be boom or bust.
Well, and he makes a Jordan walk a lot more questionable now.
Yeah. Well, if I'm somebody else pitching to Jordan, I say, okay, Walker, I don't care if you're Roberto Clemente. You might hit a home run. I know Jordan's going to get a home run. The funny thing with Jordan is he just came off an 0 for 16. It just got hotter than a firecracker this series. He kind of reminds me of what Altuve used to be. When Altuve would have a bad series or a bad stretch, you look out, because when he comes out of it, he comes out of it in a big way. For the series, Altuve, for this last series, Altuve hit 3 for 10. He had a triple and a double. One of the things that Jose is not doing now is the home run power is not what it was. I think he has 6 right now. He's 36 years old. Maybe that power's gone. Maybe he's got one more. One thing that Altuve is doing.
He's still running 28 to 30 feet per second down the line, though.
Well, yeah, but what he's starting to do is he's walking more than he has. Now, some of it might be the ABS.
He's really good at that.
Yeah, he's good at that. I just got a visit from Bella. He's walking more. His base running still can be a Keystone Cops, but I think he's starting to understand some of the things he needs to do as his career matures to be able to help the team. His defense hadn't been bad this year.
No, he's still playing decent defense. And I think that he's still a pivotal piece in this team, but I think, the more heavy reliance on the three that we've been talking about, Jordan, Paredes, and Walker, it kind of takes a little bit of the spotlight off of Altuve and kind of lets him maybe just start letting him do his thing and quietly be that keyhole in the offense that, really makes a difference in some of these games where you don't have to end up relying so much on Jordan, or that Jordan homer becomes, instead of it being a solo shot, Altuve is taking those walks and getting on base. now you've got the opportunity for Jordan to put 2 or 3 runs on the board as opposed to just knocking solo shots.
Yeah. One of the things the Astros have to do, and we were talking about how uh, how the team is having so much trouble hitting. Jeremy Pena being out of the lineup uh, is a tough deal. Nick Allen's had 3 hits in the last 2 series. In the last 2 series, he's 3 for 17. You know, you he's a nice luxury to have, but when you expect him to be a full time player,
Right.
he's just he's just not.
Yep. Yep.
There's it's he gives you everything he has, but unfortunately, I don't think he's got enough. He's not an everyday regular 162 game player. You get him to
No.
start. If he starts 30, 40 games a year and comes off the bench and gives you good, goes in and, say, for example, plays defense for Altuve late in the game.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, and I
you
think
got to
that
get him.
when he was brought in, obviously, I don't think that uh, nobody nobody assumed that Carlos Correa would be out for the season and Pena would have these stints of hopping on the IL, and we'd be relying on Nick Allen to play full time shortstop. So
Is is Pena going to be
it's
back before the end of the All Star break?
that's a good question. I would be my assumption that they would wait. I would. I don't really understand why they would. I mean, that's a week away. I don't understand why they would
They've got a
um,
tough road trip coming
try
up.
to push him. They do.
You
They
go
do.
to you go to Washington, it was hitting the daylights out of the ball, and then they go to the Rangers. And I
Yeah.
think if he's ready to go by that Rangers series, nothing short but a note from his corner should keep him out of the series.
There is a day off between the National Series and the Rangers, so that it's possible that would make sense, knowing that there's a little bit of rest coming up with the All Star break. Having him back specifically for that Rangers series would be great.
Yeah, and the Astros hit well up there.
Yes,
You ever been to
I
that
mean
stadium?
it's a cookie cutter. I mean, yeah, of course they do. I've not been in, so I've
That's
been to
cool.
the the whole little outside party area before. That was a time that I was up there when it wasn't during the season,
Oh
but we
yeah,
got to see it. I've not been inside the stadium before, but
I kind of like it. It's their club levels down on the first level as compared to the Minute or Daikin, which is on the second level.
yeah,
Hold on,
yeah, I've
Bella.
noticed
They're
that.
giving
You can
calls.
see.
Come on, Bella. Let's go downstairs.
All right, girl. All right.
Bella's
uh,
Bella's my rescue, and she's being summoned to the. She's up here.
getting it all on tonight's episode.
Oh,
Meeting the family dog.
Bella, you want a treat? Go get it. Go get a treat. Go get it. Go get it. Ah.
All right, so we'll dig in on a couple of these. We talked about the offense there. So as far as pitching goes, man, we've had we've had a roller coaster of emotions when it comes to some of these guys over these last 2 series, specifically Emai throwing lights out and then not doing an Emai thing where you don't know what you're getting out of him. Um, we had Peter Lambert threw kind of a sketchy game there against the Twins, and then comes out today and looks balls again. Hunter Brown's outing yesterday, a little, yeah, some question marks wrapped around that, despite the win. There's some concerns about that. I think I have some controls,
Oh, I
some
have big
concerns.
concerns about Brown.
Um,
We've talked about Brown for a year,
yeah, we have.
and
The stuff is
I think
there, but
Brown
man,
is
command and efficiency is
it's the same thing
it's a
we've seen.
struggle. Yep.
It's the same thing we've seen. He's a bit like McCullers with more stuff right now.
Mm,
The same kind of profile to where McCullers and Brown, they've got great stuff, and if they throw strikes, they're great. If
Yep.
they don't throw strikes, then it's trouble.
Yep.
And they run up high pitch counts. They run up short outings. They put pressure on the bullpen. They put pressure on the bullpen, and it's just is what it is. You and I threw some number. We're talking about some things a little earlier, and if the Astros really wanted to throw a wrench in the trade deadline, they'd put Brown out and make him available. Because if one of the things with the Astros right now that I'm so concerned about is they're in that baseball purgatory. They're not too
Yeah.
good. They're not too bad. They don't have the depth of prospect capital to be able to offer somebody let's say the Red Sox. You want to get Sonny Gray.
Mm-hmm.
Who are the Astros going to be able to offer to get Sonny Gray? Anybody they've got to offer. You get Sonny Gray, you're going to have to get somebody there that is at least one guy who's major league ready, couple of guys who are in your top 15 and will be ready within the next year or two, and maybe a lottery ticket. So it's going to take a lot to get somebody like the Astros. Are you going to go offer Xavier Nayans for him? Are you going to offer Kevin Alvarez for him? Are you going to offer Hueso for him? Are you going to offer Ethan
Uyola.
Pecco?
Uyola.
Are you going to offer Uyola? Are you going to offer Ethan Pecco? We've talked about this over and over and over, that the Astros formula under Luhnow was to develop the farm system. As the guys went off of the ranch out of free agency, you had guys that were available to take their place. They're not there.
Yep.
What do? Do you throw a Hunter Brown who's going to be a free agent after 27 has hired Boris? Because if you throw Hunter Brown's name out there, and if you wanted to shed Walker's salary, you say you've got to take both of those guys.
Yep.
And it might hurt some of your prospect capital that you get back. But if you're just going to throw Brown out there, you could get a haul back.
Yeah. So here's some of the names that the Astros are linked to. You brought up Sonny Gray. In some weird fashion, Tarek Skubal's name, the Astros are connected to.
They need to put down the pipe.
Yeah, the outfielders' names, Mickey Moniak and Jake McCarthy. I don't see. You just brought it up. I don't see how the Astros could at all possibly be competitive in the bidding war that's going to come for any of these types of guys.
I could see him get like a Moniak, but with a Moniak, I was hoping they'd get Moniak last year.
Yeah,
but I don't see how a guy like Moniak makes you that much better.
Yeah, I mean, you got to really think that you have a chance to win the World Series to go after a Tarek Skubal.
Yeah, he's going to cost you.
Why else would you? I mean, he's going to cost. Yeah, and he's a rental.
Yeah, you're not gonna re-sign him.
No,
I say the thing. Like I say, the Astros are in the worst position now because they're not too good, not too bad. They got to choose a lane.
Yeah,
and if you choose the wrong, if you choose the lane that you're going to buy, and you don't win, man, you're talking Colorado Rockies. You're talking Colorado Rockies
in the next 3 years. Yeah, your mortgage in the next 3 years at least.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Oh, I know what's wrong with Bella. It's thundering over here. She's scared to death.
Oh.
She
needs Papa's comfort.
Oh yeah, she wants to see. Normally she sees Mary, but with that, are you gonna be? I mean, the only reason we would see this is that Dana has been told by Crane, be competitive or your posterior's on the street.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you have to go in. I'll take care of the money later. Go find somebody that can help us win some ball games down the stretch and take us to the playoffs.
But let's look. I mean, names aside, let's talk about who the Astros need. They need a one or a two starter, okay? Because I'm not sure Brown's shoulder's still right because he's not he had one good outing, the other two have not been sharp. Okay, you need really three outfielders, two outfielders. You can get by with Cam hitting 220 and an occasional pop if you've got a left and center fielder that are legit. Okay. Um, Vasquez has been nice. It'd be nice to get a better catcher. If you could, get another catcher. Although Vasquez, if he's, one every 3 games, he's fine. You need some bench players. So you're talking about the Astros having to get, probably you're always going to get an extra uh, relief pitcher or two. So you're talking about the Astros getting 6, 7 top-notch guys to be able to think they're going to have a chance of going after it.
Yeah.
And those 6 or 7 guys are, let's say they cost two players per one you acquire. Do they have? I mean, think about it.
Well,
You
I mean,
don't disagree. You don't disagree, do you?
you're gonna gut your entire outfield because you can't go out and grab guys and still have the likes of Trammell, Looper, Fido, DeZenzo,
Yeah, those guys are
all
included
of
in
these
part of the
guys.
deal.
They're all gone, and
Yeah,
you've got to get outfielders. I mean, so yes, if you bring a Moniak in or McCarthy or I've seen a couple of other names thrown around. Those guys are gone. They're part of deals because
yeah. Now you brought
all of them
Moniak.
have somewhat performed and somewhat show that they're capable. Um, yeah, it's just there's so
Here's
many
one.
questions. I just don't understand how you put any of these deals together without really doing the whole like 2 steps forward, 1 step back type of thing.
Here's a deal I could see happening is I could see like Moniak Moniak for Jake Myers in a piece because Jake could go
Yeah.
play center field in Colorado. You bring Moniak
Yep.
over here. You might have to throw you might have to throw a half live body in on the deal.
An A or double A pitcher.
Somebody, yeah, you have to throw a dude in. Have to throw a
Yep.
guy in who's got maybe a lottery ticket kind of guy. Um, but I could see that sort of deal working because Jake, uh, they've been soured on Jake all year. He,
Yeah.
and now he's down at AAA. So maybe it's a change of scenery plus, a decent pitching prospect. And that might get Moniak done. I could see a deal like that getting done.
Yeah.
Moniak's got to be pretty close to free agency. I think he's got one year left. You think?
That's a great question.
Because it took him a while to get up.
Let's see. Contract status. Free agent 2028.
Okay, so he's got this year and one other.
He's
He's
ARB eligible. Yeah, 2027 is his last ARB year.
yeah.
He's at
So
four.
you've
He's
got
at 4 million right
former
now.
1-1. Yeah, he's a 1-1, and he's reasonably priced. Has never really done much as far as. I mean, he's been okay. That's
Yeah,
the problem I think with a
he's a
guy like
seven.
that.
He's a 752 OPS career guy. He's having a really good year hitting in
And
Colorado. I mean, a
it seems like
945 OPS. Not having a shabby not
he's
having
been
a
pretty
shabby
good the
year
last few years. When he got away from
last year.
Philly,
Yeah,
he actually started doing pretty well.
last year
Um,
824 OPS. Yeah, his 2 years in Colorado have been great offensively.
yeah, shocker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
he had one good year for LA. That was 23 and 802 OPS. Everything else, eh,
yeah.
nothing to write home
But
about.
that's we start talking about the quandary the Astros are in. I mean, even if you needed those people and you had a deep farm system,
Hmm.
are you going to give away that much farm capital to to look what the Padres are finally starting to having to pay the piper on the way they've been so aggressive. They're a 500 team and they don't look. You've got Machado getting old, hitting like he's old. Tatis has had what, 2 home runs all season.
Okay.
It wasn't that long ago he hit his first. Okay,
Yeah.
so you do that and you make these big deals enough, man, you're on a high wire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're putting all your eggs in one basket.
But we'll see. I do think they make a move. This road trip coming up is going to be, it's a tough road trip. They got to go to
Mm-hmm.
Washington. Like we were saying earlier, I think they've got the highest. They've scored more runs than anybody else in baseball. And then they go to the Rangers, and the Rangers have been playing pretty good ball.
Yep.
They've got good pitching. The Astros have always done well up there, but the Nationals are second to the Dodgers, one behind the Dodgers. The Rangers are playing pretty good ball. Skip Schumacher's good manager, and they've done it without Seager all season, more or less all season.
Yeah.
Shocker, he's hurt
Yep.
again.
Yeah. Yeah. The Nationals are 5-5 in their last 10. 23-31 against teams over 500. They've lost their last 2, but yes, 485 runs scored. Yeah,
they can hit. They can hit. They just give up a
they're hitting
lot
the
too.
ball. Yeah, no, you're right. They lead the league in runs scored right now.
They're and
The
then
Dodgers
their
are 483.
and then their pitching is, pitching's dreadful.
Talking about dreadful, man, the New York Yankees. I love your little background there. Talking about dreadful, the New York Yankees on a 1-9 slide over their last 10. Wow.
Yeah, they lost again today, and they are,
And now they go to Tampa Bay, who just came off of getting beat by Houston, is going to play pissed.
Now they got the Rays have won 8 of the last 10. The Yankees have lost 9 of their last 10. This happens every year.
It does.
I mean, you come out there, they almost it's like, yeah, we got it this year. We got it this year. And it's like, then the roller coaster goes off the rails. And Rodon, do you see where Rodon's out?
No, again.
Rodon's out again. I think he's got elbow irritation.
Okay.
Cam Schlittler's been good, but he got lit up on Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm. How about the Marlins and the Phillies making the NL East interesting?
Yeah, I can't go to the. I would like to go to see a Marlins game if we go down there, but I can't because the stadium's built on the side of the Orange Bowl. And it is a crime that they tore the Orange Bowl down. I saw so many great football games in the
Orange Bowl. He's got to go burn some sage or something over there in order to be able to visit.
But the Phillies are 50 and 40. We remember how we said, that a month or two ago, Braves were 10 or 12 up and said that it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Phillies have won 6 of their last 10.
Yeah, Marlins have won 7 of their last 10.
Marlins
on a 3-game win streak.
Really hot.
Yeah,
that's a fun story. We had to do some digging on them next time.
Yeah, we'll dig into the Marlins for our next show or two. Yeah, and see what's going on there. I mean, that's going to be. I mean, and we kind of said that at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, we said they could be a wild card.
We said that the NL East could be one of the more exciting divisions to watch, and then the Braves come out smoking hot, and we kind of pulled back on that. And now it looks like maybe we were onto something at the beginning of the season.
All right, I'm going to go through, and I'm going to give about 4 or 5 teams. Real word, one word, in or out. Being in, they've got a chance to make it. Out,
okay. Out. Okay.
Um, let's see. Let's go Blue Jays.
Blue Jays, currently 3 games out of the wild card spot. Lost 7 of their last 10. I think that it would have to be an even more monumental collapse by the Yankees in order for the Blue Jays to get anywhere close to the playoffs. So
I think
I'm saying they're out.
I'm saying they're out too.
I mean,
Um,
if I'm looking at this, I'm thinking one, two, three, four. There's at least four, maybe even five other teams if you throw Detroit's potential in there that could prevent the Jays from getting anywhere close to the playoffs.
yeah, and the next one I was going to have Tigers in or out.
Yeah, I still think that they're out because of the loaded division that they're in and the way that the Twins, Guardians, and White Sox are playing. They're 5 out of the wild card now. When you've got Seattle, Texas, Houston, both Cleveland, um, again the Yankees or Rays, whoever decides to take the East. I don't really see a way for Detroit to. They're going to have to go on just a massive run to
Yeah,
make up
I
seven and
agree.
a half in the Central, and then make up that extra 5 in the wild card. I don't see how
I don't see
Detroit
it.
can make the playoffs right now.
To win 90 games, they have to go 50-20.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just where it is.
Yep.
Um, A's in or out?
I don't think they're. I think they're out. I don't think that
I
they've
think
got
they're out
staying
too.
power. Yep.
I think too.
They've
I think
lost seven
they
of
are.
their last 10, and
I think
they're
they
kind
are.
of
Yeah,
yeah.
I think they are what they said we thought they were going to be. They're going to be fun. They're
Mhm.
going to be exciting, but they just ain't got the horsepower to do it.
Yep.
Um, we talked about the Marlins being in. What about the St. Louis Cardinals? Had a good
Cardinals
start.
and
Had a good
a
start, and they've been
virtual.
a good start,
Yeah.
but they've been a little under 500 for the last couple of months.
Yeah. And a virtual. Uh, yeah, sitting in a virtual tie for the second wild card. No, I'm sorry, they're not. They're even for being outside of the wild card. So you got the
Yeah,
Cubs and Phillies are in a virtual tie for the wild card. I think again with the Marlins and the Phillies and the Cubs playing decent ball lately, I don't know that I see the Cardinals getting in there, and don't rule out. I don't say don't rule out Arizona or San Diego in the National League. In their division, obviously they've got the Dodgers
they're
there,
done.
but that I wouldn't rule out the Padres, the Diamondbacks, the Cubs, Phillies, and Marlins. That's gonna be a nice battle for those wild card spots. I don't see
Yeah,
how
I
St.
think I
Louis
think
can.
we've seen the I've seen we think we've seen the best of the Cardinals. I think they'll
Yeah.
be close to 500 by the time this is done. I think the Pirates have a better chance to get there because they've got more pitching. But the
Hmm.
biggest thing about the Pirates is a team that hasn't won for a long time. Is they got to learn how to win.
Yep. Yeah, get
I mean, it's,
comfortable
it's
with winning.
something about there's you can play well, but do you know how to win? Do you know how to get that bunt down? Do you know how to make that little play? Do you have the ice water in your veins to do it? You think the Diamondbacks and the Padres have a chance? I think I think everybody outside the West, outside the Dodgers and the AL West is DOA.
Yeah, when you really look at it, and you look at the way, I mean, the Diamondbacks won or lost 6 of their last 10. Padres lost 8 of their last 10. One tonight, but yeah, I think when you start to put those guys up against Cubs, Marlins, Phillies, and again, you throw the Cardinals and or the Pirates in there, it's a there's a tough that's a really tough path for those teams to make their way in.
Yeah, yeah, and of course we talk about the Astros. The Astros are a game out of the wild card.
Hmm.
You know, I just hope Dana keeps his powder dry until the very end.
Hmm.
Okay, because
Yep.
look at you when you look at what the Astros have coming into the wild or the coming into the All-Star game. You've got coming up to you've got the Nationals, you've got the Rangers, and then you get the All-Star game. Then you go have Baltimore, Miami, and then at the White Sox. So they've got a schedule that can be had. They've got the Marlins at home. Baltimore is a sinking ship.
Mm-hmm.
White Sox, let's see how they start doing when the collars get a little tighter, the heat gets turned up. And then they go to the Angels at the end of the month. And, when you look at what they have, they should, hopefully they'll split this road trip. And then coming out, they should win both of those series against Baltimore and Miami.
And you have and then you have the Rangers. You got the Rangers series there, literally finishing the Rangers series right before.
Yeah, right before
August 3rd.
And that's at home. So,
yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 series, they should be able to go 9-6.
Well, I mean, on top of that, you've got 6 games against the Rangers directly. That could change the entire scope of everything. Just those 6 games right there. Those 6 games right there decide whether you do something or not.
Could very well.
Yep.
Could very well do that. If you sweep them or you stink them.
Yeah.
You lose 5 or 6. You've got 4 games behind, and rather
you're toast.
Yeah, because like we've said any number of times, people can get sick of hearing it. Make up a game a week. Every rolling, make up a game a week on a rolling 2-week period. Because now they are
those 6 games over the next.
And Seattle has a 20 plus 27 run differential. They're slowly creeping up. They're not killing everybody, but they're steadily moving up, and over time.
This week will be really telling, because the Astros play the Rangers. Seattle goes to Miami, who we've been just talking about, playing great ball, and then goes to Tampa Bay before the All-Star break.
Yeah,
this week could end up being really, really pivotal in the way that the AL West shapes out coming. Yeah,
it could be really pivotal. Well, good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in and hanging out with us on a Sunday night here. Let's hope for some good road tripping with these Astros. Go leave us a comment. Make sure you subscribe. You can find us on any of your favorite podcast apps. But until next time, I'm Ryan. That's my man, Wally.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Hit that subscribe button.
Go Stros.